So I just saw this scene in the Mortal Kombat movie, the first one, and bro, did it bring back so many good memories, bro. Again, I say it all the time. If you're new to the channel, y'all know I love shouting out my brother, my cousin Brian. Rest in peace to him. But he introduced me to a lot of things that I did not know about: Mortal Kombat, Power Stone, Dragon Ball, Toonami, Ninja Turtles. The list goes on. But he put me on a lot of game when I was younger. Rest in peace to him. But he put me on this Mortal Kombat game through the movies. I've never seen the Mortal Kombat video game or nothing. I was introduced to Mortal Kombat through the movie, and I don't know if y'all remember the cartoon Mortal Kombat. It was a cartoon show. It didn't last long. Or was it a movie? It was an animated Mortal Kombat. It was called Defender of Realms, or something like that. But it came out around that same time. And bro, my intro to Mortal Kombat was legendary. First of all, it still to this day has one of the most goated openings to a movie. The credits and the beginning of the movie has one of the most greatest moments ever. The greatest opening, everything. Mortal Kombat, dun, dun, dun. Bro. Like now, after a while of Mortal Kombat being out, we've heard it. It's something that we always will remember. But that moment when you first see it, and those who are my age, y'all know when that movie first came out, especially someone like me who didn't know much of actually didn't know anything about the franchise, to get that opening, bro, it was hype. Let me see, when did Mortal Kombat come out? 1995. Dang, that long, bro? 1995? Whoo, goodness gracious, 30 years ago? Oh my goodness. Sorry, that hit me a little bit. I was like, dang, bro, I'm 34. I'll be 35 this year, but I wasn't introduced to Mortal Kombat right on release. I think mine was at 97. And the reason I know that day is because I remember other things that happened around that time too. And I think it was 97. So I was 6 going on 7. So I was still introduced to Mortal Kombat late. But my first introduction was the movie. And that opening, bro, with the song and everything, my cousin was just like, he was hyping it up. He was like, it's best for me just to show you. Because he's seen it before, a lot of times before he introduced it to me. And the funniest part is that is not the greatest scene in that movie that made me realize how goated this movie is. It's the introduction of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Yes, if you look at like story-wise, it went its own route of what Hanzo and all that is, the real story of them. They went a different route with this movie, but still, when you're a kid, you don't know that. And that intro, when Shang Tsung is talking to Sonya Blade, and Sonya is like, I ain't gonna say threaten him, but Sonya Blade had some backup. She had Liu Kang and Johnny down there, and it was just them three basically against him. He looks slowly at the door Shang Tsung talking about. Then you see a hand grab the door, and it's Sub-Zero walks in. The eyes, you got to see, what I'm talking about. The eyes because of Scorpion behind him. Scorpion walking like this with the music. And then, And then Shang Tsung, I love that actor. I've seen him in a few other roles. I love him as Shang Tsung. He has one of the most coldest lines, and I think it's because of how he delivered it. Scorpion and Sub-Zero, deadliest of enemies, but slaves under my power. Like, bro, just how that was. And then you see Scorpion and Sub-Zero like, get ready, bro. And I'm sitting there, I ain't gonna front. I was young, so it is what it is. I was scared of Sub-Zero for a little bit in Scorpion. Just how they enter, it looked like a scary movie. It shrugged off real quick. I wasn't scared of them after that. But that intro, I just watched that just again not too long ago. That's why I'm talking about it now. That scene, the opening of Mortal Kombat, and I ain't gonna front, the Johnny Cage versus Scorpion fight is still the best Mortal Kombat fight in movie history. Movie, TV show, whatever you want to put. Even the animated recent movies that's been coming out, nothing beats that Johnny Cage versus Scorpion fight in my opinion. But those scenes has made Mortal Kombat legendary to this day, to where nothing has surpassed that movie. And I'm talking about when it comes to TV shows, the recent remake movie, which I thought that was okay. It wasn't that good. I like the Sub-Zero. I like how he was made, but outside of that, it was all right. I hope this second one comes out really well. But the animated movies, nothing beats that. And honestly, I don't know Mortal Kombat movies or TV ever will beat that moment in 1995 because we know what Mortal Kombat is now, and so it's going to be hard to top it. That's why when I go see any other Mortal Kombat project, I'm just not going to compare it to 1995 because that was a different time. We didn't know what Mortal Kombat was for the most part. It was still fresh. Where now Mortal Kombat's been around for 30 plus years. So even if the movie is really good, the feeling of the opening credits, the casting and how they delivered it, the first just being introduced to that universe, it will not be replicated. So yeah, I don't think that will ever be beaten. Was there some corny moments? Sure, but like I said, as a kid, you don't notice it at first. When you see it now, it's like, okay, it has some corny moments, but still it holds up very well. It holds up very well. I love that Johnny Cage and Scorpion fight, but back to what I was saying, that scene, but slaves under my power. Like, bro, I love it. Sonya Blade points the gun at Sub-Zero. He touches the gun and Frieza embrace it. And I never forget, I'm like, what the heck is this? Scorpion's sitting there like this, not moving. His hand just opens up and that creature comes out of his hand and looks at Johnny, just opens up and does this. I'm like, what is this? You know, when I first saw it, I'm thinking they're just some ninjas. And like Scorpion's maybe blind or something because of how his eyes are white. And then you see Sub-Zero touch the gun, freeze it, broken. I'm like, then you just see Scorpion sit like this. And that thing comes out. Yeah, nothing tops that. But yeah, not the game. The video game wasn't my first introduction to Mortal Kombat. The movie and I think it was called Defender of Realms. I loved how they made the ninjas in that one. So that's one thing I do remember. I loved how they did that. I don't remember much of that show, but yeah, those two were my introduction to Mortal Kombat. You know, like I said, I have a lot to be grateful for with my cousin Brian. Rest in peace to him. You know, I wouldn't have known Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Power Stone. Actually, Sega. I was introduced to Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis by him. Because I was, in my household, we had Super Nintendo growing up. But yeah, let me know how you feel about what I said with those scenes. And actually, I wonder, let me know in the comment section, do you think Mortal Kombat 1 can be beaten as one of the best, like there could be another Mortal Kombat movie that can beat what 1995 is? Or should we just put it on the realm of Legendary, that movie, 1995, and just start fresh with the new ones to where we're not we're not comparing? Because yeah, that can't make you lose fun. That can't have you not, how should I say it? That can't mess up your experience of a movie is by comparing it to an older one. So I think we should just leave that be as one of the greatest movies, video game movies of all time, and just enjoy whatever comes next after that. But yeah, that Mortal Kombat, the intro of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and then Scorpion and Johnny Cage's fight. And by the way, again, that I need to talk more about that. That choreography with them two. Honestly, there hasn't been a better Johnny Cage fight ever since then. Johnny Cage in that second movie. You know, we ain't gonna talk about that abomination. The cartoons, cartoon movies, like, you know, I think they did Johnny Cage an injustice when he fought Baraka in Scorpion's Revenge. That was such a disgrace. But yeah, shout out to them. That will always live like that as one of the greatest video game movies of all time. And that's what started for me. Then I learned about the games and all that. And the rest is history. But yeah, let me know how you feel about it. I'll see you later. Oh, and we can't forget Reptile. Bro, that had me hype. Like, bro, like seeing that fight scene, I would watch that again actually. That was hype. The music, dun, 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 like, bro, Reptile going crazy, not saying a word, just handling business. Like, bro, I ain't gonna front. There was some moments I wanted Reptile to win. I ain't even gonna front. But just that opening, because I didn't, like I said, as a person who didn't know what I was watching, this was fresh to me. But that was still, and then you hear, then when I finally played the game, I realized I put two and two together that voice was the one in the old video game. I was like, oh, because I was like at the arcade, I'm hearing Reptile. You know that pose. But yeah, that I had to mention that. I had to mention that. That scene was also legendary. Reptile. But yeah, anyway, sorry.